Alright then, hello Blood Bowl fans. The community has decided, and I'm going to be recording the real Welsh Dragons game against Abyhoj Rollingerne. My team is still looking pretty beaten up. I've still just got the 7 players, including Aaron, who's taken a niggle. So I'd like to replace him realistically, but I don't think it's going to happen this week or even by the end of the season. I'll probably keep him the whole time. Otherwise, I've got 3 lots of dodge now, which are going to help me against these humans probably. 4 lots of dodge, sorry. And I have 1 Mighty Blow guard and a Mighty Blow piece that can also help me a little bit, but I'm going to be playing with 5 peasants. My team value is going to be what? 1050 plus 250, so 1300 exactly, I guess. And the team I'm up against is Abyhoj Rollingerne, led by Dingosp2, and it's a human team at 1440 with a level up yet to come, so unless he rolls doubles, we're looking at 1460, I think. So, what do we got to deal with then? We have an ogre with block, which is pretty disgusting. Gonna have to avoid him mostly. We have 2 Mighty Blow blitzers, 2 guard blitzers, which is relatively common, though the 1 guard blitzer does have a level up, so we may see another Mighty Blow. He hasn't rolled it yet though, he's keeping me in suspense, and you guys too. Sebastian has been given, the throw has been given accurate, which is an interesting choice, but I kind of like it. We then have 4 linemen, one of which has wrestle, and 3 catches, which is good news for me, because that's something that I can maybe deal with a little bit. With the strength 2, it may help me just a bit. 1 has block, 1 has guard block. Yikes, don't like the guard block, that's for certain. But anyway, we'll see if we can get rid of a couple of these catches, and we'll see if we can hold this human team. It's going to be a bit of a tough one though. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. Alright, here we go then. Bretonnians against humans. The real Welsh Dragons take on Abyhoj Rollingerne. And the opposition is a combination of letters, so it's difficult to remember what his name is. I will say it when it pops up on screen. He is actually part of my Discord channel, and there's a small chance he's listening to me right now, though I don't think he is. I think it's Dingosp2. I think that's the combination of letters and the number, though I will confirm that when the game begins. So here we go then, in Silkeborgen, and Abyhoj Rollingerne, led by Dingosp2, I was correct. The humans are singing something in a foreign language that I don't understand. And the real Welsh Dragons are singing something in a foreign language that you don't understand. They're singing Gwad. Well, I say that, there may be somebody Welsh watching, but I don't think it's very likely. Not a very well spoken language. And Ogle Cledwin, as always, the team captain, is there ready to lead his boys to death. Or victory, but more likely death, because that seems to be the way it's going. Though he himself hasn't taken any injuries yet. And we're on the wrong team, there we go. I was a traitor for a minute then. So, Abyhoj Rollingerne won the toss and they decided to receive. Obviously one of the biggest problems I'm going to suffer here is the ogre, and oh yeah, there was a piece that had a level up to roll. He took stand firm. Where is he? There he is. So he has guard and stand firm, which is relatively annoying combination of skills, though at least he's missing Mighty Blow. So it is kind of annoying though, I don't really have a top piece that can realistically put him down easily. And high kick for the humans. And thrower comes to claim it. I will say this right at the start. I said that I would do this video, so I have done this video. Okay, I'll say in a minute. He actually immediately activated the ogre, which is very brave and potentially very risky, but it worked. And 2 KOs immediately. So good start for the Bretonnians. We start as we mean to go on, I'm sure. Can we get a third? No, 2 is enough. Anyway, I was going to say that when I was playing this game, I did say I was going to record this game based on the community vote. This was the first game that was voted by the community to be played, and it is the first one I'm showing that has been chosen specifically by the community. However, I was quite distracted in this game by things going on at home. I just want to tell you that. So I do make some very strange decisions, probably. I don't even remember this game, to be honest, and I only played it last night. But I will say that, so I'm not necessarily playing at my best in this game. And Dingo is showing me immediately his intention in this game. He's coming up this flank. I can probably assume that. And he does have the stand firm piece. No, he doesn't. Stand firm piece is here, out of the way. So I'm going to pick on that piece because he's the closest to the line. I'm not going to get too involved in a fight here, but I am going to screen off and I am going to try and knock out that piece. I did want to punch with Aaron though, which is this piece here. And I realized after I moved him that I had moved him, so I'm going to have to blitz with a different piece, a piece that I'd rather not be blitzing with. I'm going to force the humans back that way though, that's the plan, and when they go that way I'll force them back this way, and etc, etc. That's basically the idea here. Oh, and the stand firm piece is gone. Bye bye Sunan. It's a shame. I'm sure he wants to have a bit of a play with that piece, but now no play to be had. I'm just going to leave him one block. He can take that one peasant. The other, whatever other block he takes, it has to be a blitz. And overall, pretty satisfied with that defense, forcing the ball back the other way, and he has no choice. And again, activating the ogre. It's a strategy that does not always work as well as it does right now, so just keep that in mind. Dingo, it can backfire eventually. It's not necessarily the best option to always activate the ogre first off. Though when it works, it can be quite devastating, as you've seen, as we have 3 KOs already. In terms of inducements, I took a bribe, and for some reason I took an extra reroll. I thought I needed 3, but I forgot I had so much dodge on the team. So just a strange day all round, basically. Strange game all round. And he's done a pretty good job of creating a half screen over here. Realistically, I should be screening the entire pitch now, but I am mostly going to focus down this side. And I'm actually going to focus on this piece as well, trying to do a little bit of damage whenever I can. This time Aaron's going to take the punch though. I'm also stopping that run around from the other side, but every other piece is going this way, basically. Yeah, blitz from the mighty blow. Not the best blitz, but it'll have to do. And we'll threaten the catcher as well, because mighty blow on a catcher, that's what we want. 1 piece, 2 dice. More likely to break armor that way. So I made a kind of scattered defense here, where if he does break through 1 point, I've still got pieces that can come in and support afterwards. Though it looks like he's going to try and put down 2 pieces, which makes sense, this one and this one. Though that's a failure first of all. And he's done a GFI there to give himself support. And he is throwing the catches through. He's just showing me that he's got lots of options where he can put the ball. And the ogre finally boneheads. This is very aggressive and risky from Dingo. He's obviously showing that he's going to put the ball in one of these places, but I can get to the ball pretty quickly no matter where he puts it, and pretty easily. The only thing that can really go wrong is if I fail the dodge. So it's a very risky play from Dingo. I was quite surprised by this. He would have been better off staying back for at least 2 more turns. But he has played aggressively and he has done the pass, putting it to this catcher. Now the problem with this is I can dodge this piece out and get there and get a free 2-die block. And this piece does have dodge, so there's a good chance that's happening. Though obviously if it fails, this is going to work. If it doesn't fail, I've got the ball. And the dodge fails, so that's pretty lucky for Dingo, but he gets away with it, and he is going to make it 1-0 now, because he kind of has to score. Though it looks like he's going to take some blocks first, and with the ogre no less. Dodge saves me there, but when Bonehead didn't, and that's the only block we're taking. Well, there we go then. Ooh, that was laggy. So 1-0 for Brian, and Abyhoj Rollingerne, led by Dingo. Dingo is actually part of both leagues. He's part of the ICBBL and he's part of the Rebel Gman. So I may well be playing him a couple of times in both leagues. He may well come up in the vote quite often. He said one of his favourite teams is humans, and he also likes elves, so I can tell you a little bit about the coach as he's a regular in both leagues now. And 2 of my knockouts come back, his knockout does not, so we are 11 against 10, and Dingo still has a bench. With the blitzer missing, he's forced to put a lineman on the end instead of having the 4 blitzer and ogre line that he seems to favour. And it's my chance of the ball now. Of course, I want to finish this turn realistically 1-1 near the end. So going into my drive, I have a chance to make it 2-1. And cheering fans, free reroll for both of us. Not that either of us needed it, because we haven't used a reroll this game yet. I'm going to take some blocks from my Mighty Blow pieces first to try and whittle down the numbers, and I'm going to stand on the guard piece, because he's the piece that I don't want moving. Forced to wrestle with my second Mighty Blow. And I'm going to block down the lineman too. I'm going to go up this way to sort out the ball, as you can see from my setup. The reason I chose this way is because there was only the 1 blitzer, so it made the most sense. And that blitzer now has a useless lineman standing on him. And the idea basically is blitz this piece, lock up this piece, this blitzer breaks through. I left a bit too much of a gap there, but the wrestler is going to fill that in, and the last piece is going to just move, preferably with the ball, into this area up here. Making the pass slightly easier with GFI. Oh, inaccurate. Realistically, I didn't need to re-roll that. It was a waste anyway, got inaccurate twice. But I've only got 5 turns and I got 4 re-rolls, so I thought I may as well use it. That's the last action of the turn. And when I look back at this, and when I was looking at it in the game, I realized that I probably shouldn't have done that, of course, because I left a big gap here for pieces to come through. On the plus side, the only thing he can do is put 1 lone catcher there, so even though it wasn't optimal play at all, Dingo's response is dangerous, so I can hopefully knock out a catcher. I am drinking coffee, so please ignore the sound of the spoon. But my coffee's going to get cold if I don't drink it. And I also think I'm not in the chat. Oh, I am. Okay. Just checking. It's all new and exciting. And failed dodge. I think that's the first time Dingo's actually failed something, and he's failed it twice now. So that helps me a little bit, though where that piece was didn't really make much of a difference, to be honest. And he has left me 2 free pieces on the outside out here, so I can probably clean up relatively simply here. Bring the lineman down just in case something goes wrong. Obviously don't need any support against the lineman. No, the catcher, sorry. And failing a GFI, so reroll that. That's better. Knock down the catcher now. That'll do. That will definitely do. That's not a good ball though. That is not a good ball. It's going to take me 2 turns to clean it up now. Though at least I got a stun out of it. I'm going to put the blitzer into a potential scoring threat because it's going to take me maybe a turn or two to clean up the ball. But when I do, I'm going to have a piece there ready. It's pretty easy for him to lock him up with a catcher though, he should definitely be doing that. And the blitzer can also come back in support, the rest can come forward and try and secure the ball. Oh, we're sending a lineman back, that makes sense too. So catcher and lineman, blitzer comes forward. And the catcher can actually move directly onto me. But he doesn't. That's an oversight on Dingo. He did tell me after this move that it was down to fear, but no, you really had to stand on the piece there. And he throws me onto the ball, which is a very risky play, especially if it does go onto one of his own players, because then it can go anywhere, and anywhere is not where you want the ball to be. And that wrestle helps me more than it helps him, actually, because that's just one more piece out of the way. So I only have to blitz one piece. Well, to say what I should be doing, I should be using this piece to blitz the blitzer. I should be punching this piece when the lineman has stood up. Lineman first. I use the wizard. Okay, that's even easier. So, blitz with this piece, pick up with this piece, off we go. And I'm punching the catcher for some reason, don't really need to, just getting him out of the way I guess. And getting myself out of the way so it doesn't scatter onto this piece, because I don't want it there. I blitzed with the wrong piece. Yeah, I should have blitzed with the wrestler. But we've moved into a scoring position, so we are going to attempt it. Though I screwed it up by not blitzing with the blitzer for sure. I'm going to have to use one of these two pieces to pass now, which is not ideal. And I'm going to have to dodge this piece out to pick up the ball, which is also not ideal. Pickup is good though. It's a messy recovery, but it is a recovery. And GFI, GFI. Yep, good. Hand off to this guy, Dowie. And Dowie's going to have to do a pass, which is not really his job. Though the pass chance is equal between the two pieces, so it doesn't make much of a difference. Oh, good enough. It was messy, but it worked. That's 1-1. A bit quicker than I would have wanted, but it will do. And that blitzer comes back, which is bad news for me. My lineman does not come back, which is really bad news for me, so I'm down one player against his team of 13. And of course, humans get another round of punching, which is bad news as well. They also have 2 turns to score, which is enough time. If it was me as the humans, I would definitely be trying to force the second score. Putting all the pressure on me next turn, especially with no wizard to protect me from the score. Okay then. So he has set up on the one flank, that's the one positive of being an offender. I really should have set up differently than I did here. I should have set up loose and across the whole line, but I decided to set up in a defensive way instead, which was not really clever. That's pretty poor play, but again, distracted while playing this game. So realistically I should have had a flat line across the pitch, so there were no obvious gaps. And even though I saved the linemen from getting punched, they're really useless where they are at the moment. So pretty easy here for Dingo to get the ball in this area, make a cage down here, and they can't really do anything to stop it, so we're going to go 2-1 here. Almost guaranteed. Though he's setting up a little bit close to the edge, so I maybe actually can cause problems. The one option that I don't think that I can deal with, though, is the handoff to this blitzer. So that's what I'm thinking when I'm looking at this, that if I was playing the ball, that's where the ball is going long term. Not right now, but on turn 8. Because I can stop the catcher, but I can't stop the blitzer. And yeah, he does set up a pretty solid defense on the outside for me to deal with. All I can really do is throw bodies at the ball, and that is what I'm going to do, but it's not really ideal. And I'm going to be blitzing this piece so I can get a piece on the 2 catches. I'm actually not throwing bodies, I'm just making a screen, which is maybe not ideal. Though at least by making a screen you can't punch everything. And this lineman is useless, I don't even have to move him to be honest, but I will. Just going to give him that 1 extra option so he has 1 more dice to roll and potentially screw up. And I screw up my dice anyway. Reroll. No, that's no good. Needed that blitz to come off, and with that not coming off, that's going to be a score of 2-1. Pretty easy to put this piece down, pretty easy to blitz this piece, and done. Yeah, the ball's going to go here. Don't even need to hit this piece. Just blitz that, done. Yep. Nice and easy. That's good enough. Let's go 2-1 then. On the plus side, I get 1 more round of punching with my mighty blow pieces, but it's a small consolation in that situation. Sorry, I skipped the touchdown animation. I don't normally do that. My knockout came back at least, so I'm back to 11 players, which is an unusual feeling as returnings. As you've seen if you've been following this series, it's very strange to see a full team. And he does go for the all-back setup, so come on Riot! If he leaves these 2 pieces, actually I'm going to attack this flank. Oh no, 2 catches, there we go, I'm attacking this flank. More likely to punch a hole. No, I'm better off attacking this flank because there are less players with speed. So I don't think I'm going to change my setup. Oh I am going to attack this flank for some reason. Yeah, poor decision again, really. Go away, I don't want you. Go away. I'm actually half setting up for a 1-turn touchdown as well, though I screwed it up, as always. And I needed 1 more piece, I'll show you where in a second. That's a bad ball. I kind of hope it goes off the pitch, because I'm more likely to have the ball in a useful place if it does. Good. So we're going to try a 1-turn touchdown. But I made a mistake. Should have had a piece here as well. If there was a piece here, I think it would have worked, but it didn't work without it. And I didn't actually need that piece when I think about it. Yeah, I could have pushed, but I decided at this point that I've already screwed it up, because I needed the piece to go here, here, etc. So it's done with a pass, which fails. Reroll. And there we go. Pass and catch, so 1 SPP out of it at least. And it will be my drive on the attack. I said that the wrong way around, didn't I? It will be my attack on the next drive, so there is that at least. And let's see how he sets up this time. Keeping the ogre off the line. Not sure about that. He's giving me kind of a free ride with my mighty blow whenever he does that. And I'm not likely to punch an ogre, because it's kind of a waste of a piece. I'm probably just going to leave a lineman standing on him. I guess that's why, though, he's put the ogre back, so he doesn't just have a lineman standing on him. He'd rather be punching something more useful, I guess. Though, the problem with setting the big guy back when it's a really stupid or bonehead piece is that, well, if they bonehead or really stupid, then they're completely out of the way. I think a wild animal is slightly better because you can blitz with a wild animal, so keeping them back makes sense. Anyway, high kick, so let's get lvl'd into a position where you can catch that. Well done, lvl'd. Now we're going to attack this flank again, because the stand firm piece is over here, basically. Go Mighty Blow! No, just a stun. Ah, Mighty Blow did go though. At least that. And we're going to focus down these three pieces as much as we can here. Because we've got a bit of maneuverability with half the team over here and half the team over here. It takes humans 2 turns to cross the pitch. Mighty Blow does things again. But again, just a stun. There you go, we're standing on the ogre now. And we can hopefully knock out this guard piece. Not like that, we can't. Reroll. Well, we'll push him into a threat where he's going off the pitch. And we can move the ball into a position where it can threaten the scoreline next turn. You can actually hand off here and score next turn if necessary. And another stun, so 3 stuns. That's nice. And there's no point really in locking up these pieces. It's going to take them 2 turns, I only need the 1, so I'm not going to bother getting in their way. He's going to make it his mission to save this blitzer. He maybe could have given up the blitzer, to be honest. Though he probably sees that I can score with this piece, and that is the idea. So, got to give him credit there. Okay, it was bad news. Don't really want to be losing numbers at this point. But I'm not wasting my Apo. Yeah, there's too much guard to deal with here. There's actually a catcher with guard, this catcher here, and there's a blitzer with guard, so it's quite difficult for me to get out of this predicament. Though realistically I'm going to have to if I want to push the ball forward, so I'm going to be focusing all of my effort on this part this turn. And Aaron takes a stun, which is also really bad news. I need to do this turn realistically. The linemen are going to have to do some work, which is not what I like to see. They will knock out the guard piece first, one of the 2 guard pieces anyway. Should have followed really. I did that in the wrong order as well. I should have followed, hit with this piece, blitzed with this piece, then I would have had a chance to score, but as it is, that was pretty poor, basically. And following just to threaten these 2 pieces. I don't actually need the extra support, so I could have done with moving him, like I say. That's a lot of pushes. Maybe could have moved the lineman to the outside here. And there we go, back to a flat line. Which is pretty sensible, and he forces the ball onto the outside flank, hoping to surf it. There's one more guard on the line now. I think he's the guard piece anyway. Yes, he is. And we actually dodge out to surf the ball, which is fair. And the 1 die pays off. Bye bye, lvl'd. That's not a good scatter for me at all. That is a fantastic scatter for the humans though, because the catcher can go and get it. Though he failed to pick up, that helps a bit. At least the reroll is gone. And the catcher is on his own, so I have a chance to go and do some damage this turn, potentially, though I can't really do anything with the ball carrier. I can blitz down this piece, block this piece, get the ball through, but I still got to get the ball over here, and I need the blitz here, so that's not an option. My best option is to dodge and knock down the ball carrier, and try and score the turn after. Dodge is good. And that's good enough. The mighty blow doesn't work, unfortunately. And we roll the skull. There we go. I could re-roll it, but there's not much point in re-rolling it, because it's just a one-die block, and I can kind of do with saving the re-roll. It's risky saving the re-roll there, because he has a good chance to pick up the ball here, of course. And that's a good blitz, pretty easy for the catcher to get out as well. That's a really good blitz. Well, badly hurt. I'm not appoing. Can't see much point, just one piece down. Pickup is successful. And now that high level catcher has the ball, this is the guard, dodge, block, something else piece. Catch, obviously, yeah. Guard, dodge, block, catch. And now there's not really much I can do. All I can really do is bring pieces back ready to stop him in a turn or two. I'm going to force a scoring threat as well, just because I want to have that outside chance if I do manage to get hold of the ball. Though at this point in the game I was struggling to think at all, so I may make some strange decisions here as well. Though all in all I don't think I'm playing terribly, but I could definitely be playing better. Yeah, we are going to give up the ball this turn. Work on it next turn. There wasn't really an option to get to the ball, that's why I was kind of forced to give up the ball. So I have these two pieces ready to deal with it next turn. Yeah, Block Ogre is really strong. When you're facing a big guy, generally speaking, when you see two down, you're quite happy. But when the piece has block, you have a slightly sick stomach. No, that'll do. But a slightly sick feeling in your stomach is what I wanted to say. Now, he's going to make a relatively safe screen with these two pieces on the blitzer, and the ball is going to come in here, though it should have done that before he took the block, really. But the block worked, so fine. And Handsome Earl is down, and we're still doing things. Need to move the ball. Right now, the ball is in a lot of danger. A lot of danger. Though he's already blitzed, actually, so there's no more blocks coming, but still. Yeah, definitely should have secured the ball before taking the block all the same. And passes are on fire today for the humans. I'm not getting to that anymore. I can try a one die, which I'm going to do here, but realistically, nope, not sorting that out. There's the last reroll, and a push into a push. That's just not good enough. We're going to have to move pieces out of tackle zones here to try and create a better screen. And we're going to have to bring the scoring threat back as well, which is pretty bad news. Don't really want to do that. Most of these pieces do have dodge, don't forget. So it's not so crazy doing what I'm doing. Including that wrestler who just got out of the way. This piece does not have dodge though. But he dodged too. The Ogre has been a very big piece in this game as well. He's done very well with not boneheading often. So props to the Ogre. And dodge helps that. He's not really in the way though. If we don't follow, he's not in the way at all. And we don't. So round we go. Oh, round this way, okay. Round this way makes more sense actually. We can't really get anything there other than the blitzer, which I'm going to try. Can't get the ball even if I knock it down though. And the catcher is kind of annoyingly in the way right now, so well done there. Probably going to try something a little bit crazy with the blocker here, just send him out and have a go at the ball. No, we're not doing the crazy thing this turn? Okay. My mistake. Maybe it wasn't this game actually. And we're taking a block up here because why not? There wasn't really a need to take that block at all. And we're trying to dodge out just to give us one more threat next turn, but that fails too. Yeah, at this point in the game it's pretty hard to understand what I'm actually thinking, to be honest. I don't know, my head was not where it normally would be, so I'm doing some strange things at times that I wouldn't normally do. Though, watching this back, I don't think it was nearly as bad as I thought it was. And the Ogre continues to be on fire. And gets another stun. He's actually a touchdown away from leveling, so that's nice. Yeah, this is going to be the crazy play then. It was this game. By going there, he gives me a small chance. My blitzer can actually get to the ball carrier, though it is a tricky run through to a locked up tackle zone. Though he has dodge, so we got 5+ with dodge, 4+ with dodge, GFI, 1 dice block. Maybe 2 GFIs actually. It's the best option though, so I'll take it. So I'm going to take the mighty blow first. And stand up these pieces just in case it goes wrong. To stop him from stalling. Pass the 5+, pass the 4+, fails the GFI. Well, it was almost good. I applaud your try, Willem, I guess. Yes. And I know he didn't want to score there, he wants to run around and stall, but he took the score, which was not what he wanted to happen. Though at this point the game is definitely his, just I can do some extra damage and maybe get one more scoring to make it 3-2. And my 2 KOs come back, which is nice. Though of course my injury stays off. And he actually puts the Ogre on the line this time. Just trying to stop any damage from happening. Or stop me from even wanting to take blocks, maybe. I'm fine with that though. I will focus my effort elsewhere if I have nothing to block. No. My head's not in the game at this point, definitely. I wouldn't normally do that. Oh, and a rock hits Willem. And injury. Let's hope it's not bad. Phew, 12. Yeah, it's just just a badly hurt, not a big deal. He's going to be gone for 1 whole turn with that badly hurt. Yeah, I really should have set up more, so just leaving peasants here, leaving the mighty blow off the line and using them to do a blitz, but the one mighty blow just took the punch. But I didn't. And blitzing a lineman. Nice pickup. And that's failed, so one more round of punching from the humans, and then we're done. Well played by Dingo, he's had a really good game. Some questionable decisions at time maybe, but they worked, so can't really complain too much. Not complaining anyway. I never complain when I say this, to be fair, just analysing. Hey, Big Sniffer took an injury. Bye bye, Lona. And that's the worst injury so far, that's good. At least it went on a lineman that I don't care about. No, Dingo's played well, and we had a good game. It was nice talking to him as well, though I do apologise to Dingo especially because there was a time in chat where I was a bit quiet, and it was because of things that had nothing to do with him, so it wasn't personal at all. Just to reiterate. And the human tried to pass the Bretonian at the end, but it failed, and we end 3-1 to Abyhoj Rollingerne. Well done, Dingo. 3 touchdowns, 3 passes, 11-hour breaks, and Blitzer gets MVP. That's really nice. We may see a Mighty Blow guard piece. And Real Welsh Dragons, we had a touchdown, which is always nice. We had 2 passes and 6 arm breaks. And Toolmate got MVP. I did not buy him. So Toolmate is gone. We had 5 against 11, 12, 17, 21. And with the money that I had, I did buy 1 more blocker, so now Bryn fills up the positional roster, meaning that I only have the free loaners to worry about in the next game against the Orcs. Right now on my Discord channel, which is linked below, there... Actually no, when this video goes up, probably the vote is over, but there'll be a new vote probably. In general, when you're on my Discord channel, there are votes for what you can choose to see next week in content and for future content in general, so please do check that out and cast your vote so I know what you want to see, and whatever you want to see, that's what I will record. Basically, that's how this channel works now. I'm letting you guys control it to an extent. And I do have a schedule now, and I'm following the schedule as much as possible, so most of the time these videos are going to be a little bit old by the time you watch them, but still, it's nice to have the game there to watch, I hope. Anyway, if you have watched this, thank you very much for tuning in. If you are in voice for me as well, thank you very much for listening. It's quite nice to have this option where you can get a bit of a sneak peek of what I'm doing. That's all for this one though, thank you very much. May Nuffle smile on you. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.